Every job, no matter how commonplace, has its own unique set of adventures. In this 5-part series brought to you by Isuzu, we delve into the professional lives of 5 women from this automobile giants. Come again with us as Drum Magazine unveils the lives of people who work some of the more overlooked jobs in South Africa.
That one of my biggest aspirations has always been to deliver solutions that are purpose-driven and actually create impact for any brand that I work with. I've always been actually drawn to unconventional spaces. I remember growing up, I was very passionate about science and geography, and I wanted to get into agriculture. But marketing affords me the fluidity to go into any organization and any sector and also create impact in that space. I'm also very inspired by women like Madame Curie, who were in a science industry and they were pioneers in their space. So really it's going into unconventional spaces and pioneering my journey and owning my space. I believe that as women, we have so much to give. We're very multifaceted, and whatever we get into, we adapt and we create an impact. I would love to think that my approach is a blend of collaboration and empowerment. So it's really about creating a space for your team to flourish and put their best foot forward. And being part of an automotive brand, my team is also predominantly females. So it's about creating a space for them to put their best foot forward, to be innovative, to come up with those ideas to drive the growth of the brand. I think everyone has a story about an Isuzu truck or an Isuzu bakkie, whether it's towed you from being on the side of the road or just bakery deliveries where you saw that truck. And I know as kids, we used to chase those trucks for no good reason. So it's about showcasing that the brand is truly with you for the long run. It was fit for purpose then, and it's still fit for purpose for the market now, and showing the opportunities that it unlocks for our customers to be the best that they can be and do more each and every day. So it's been quite rewarding to see the brand flourish and now nicknamed Ngcobo. And that is also because of all the hard work that was put into repositioning this brand.
Could you unpack that nickname a little bit for me? Like, obviously it stirs up nostalgia, it localizes this, transatlantic brand. Unpack the inception of that nickname.
Sure.
Bit, if you would.
So this was literally driven just by the audience that we serve, where the gentleman who actually termed the brand Ngcobo actually saw the car, looked at the vehicle, and they said, this looks like a Ngcobo, and a Ngcobo is a rabbit. And a rabbit is also one of those animals that you can't really contain, that hops into different spaces, digs burrows, makes a way to get where it needs to get to. So that's where that nickname came from, when he also saw the capability of the vehicle just off-road and what it's able to do. The brand then transcended into being this kind of big brother that everyone aspires to be. And since then, we've also leaned into it and owned it. Yeah.
I mean, now look, it's been almost a running theme or motif throughout the day today. I've been speaking to some of your colleagues. The automotive industry is not one that you would necessarily think is that welcoming or warm towards women, least of all women of color. Tell me a little bit about the particular set of circumstances you have to deal with within this space, and obviously being a woman of color.
Sure. I think being a woman in any sector faces different challenges. Every sector has different challenges that they face, and it's also, I firmly believe that happiness is a perspective. It's what you choose to focus on. And I think the industry itself as well has also assisted in transitioning the previous notions that the industry is for a specific gender. But it's also quite exciting to be part of an organization that is actually pioneering that change, and they actually are showcasing that women are capable. Creating an environment of diversity and inclusion in the organization has been phenomenal.
Wow, that's good to hear. It's always good to hear. And as far as your field or your stream of business being a dance between creative, inclinations and commercial viability, how do you straddle those two worlds when you're cultivating a campaign?
So it's always about showing what you can potentially bring to the table. It might be in the long run where they actually see the value of the campaign. But we do try to showcase even with just the softer metrics of how the resonance is in the market with what we're trying to push. But down the line, there always is a return on investment that is tangible to the business. We're seeing this with Nogwaja. We're seeing this with retail campaigns that we do, that we have direct linkage from a lead generation standpoint with a campaign, that we are actually creating impact there. And once you actually want to grow a brand and grow revenue, you first need to grow the equity in the market, to justify your price point, to justify the reason why, and only then will that result into sales.
And the bottom line is king, I can imagine, right? And how long have you been in this field, if you don't mind my asking?
So it's a total of about 4 years of being at Isuzu in automotive, yeah.
And obviously at the the top end of this interview, you mentioned that you deviated from a science kind of or agricultural kind of inkling.
Yeah.
What would you say that you're most grateful for in as far as being in this industry and deviating from your initial thoughts of what you wanted to do as a young person?
I think one of the things that I must say I'm grateful for is the impact that I can see that I'm bringing to the industry. I think it's a brand that you would never assume that there's a female behind it, but the impact that I'm seeing that in the market, the brand is resonating with the audience, again, being in an unconventional space that keeps me on my toes. I'm very excited about that, and more so in an organization that allows me to put my best foot forward without fear of prejudice. Or I always say to my team, there's always method in the madness. And the organization allows me to bring that little bit of madness so they can see the results.
And look, I see the cars downstairs. We've done a couple of shots with them. Monstrous, rugged-looking things, A woman who's perhaps more dainty in her approach might not consider a car as menacing. If I saw one of those in the rearview mirror and I was driving, I'd move out the way quite briskly. But what would you say to the sisters and women out there to encourage them to go visit an Isuzu dealership, maybe step into one of those and maybe buy one?
We actually get that question more often than not, that, how does this vehicle live in a woman's life? So when you look at the MUX is a multifaceted vehicle. It's fit for purpose for loading things, whether you're doing a grocery run, whether you're going out with your friends, you still look great in it, in your heels. Whether you're on the road, it also commands a presence. And I think as women, we're multifaceted individuals as well. So it's a vehicle that fits into every part of your life. We're not one thing, we're many things. So we also have our X-Rider, that is built for off-roading, but has just a little bit extra from a feature standpoint, from an aesthetic standpoint, and again, with women, we also, we are much more than just what we do. We are so much more. So I think just the brand essence of BOLD. BOLD is an acronym of Brave, Original, Limitless, and Different.
Hang on. Run that back one more time. BOLD is an acronym for what?
Brave, Original, Limitless, and Different. That embodies women. So there's so many things I can speak about bravery, originality of being a woman. So there's so much that the brand has to offer the females. So definitely check it out, go to the dealership, and there's always something for someone.
I love how you summed it up with an acronym. That's perfect. I think we're good. Thank you for your time. I'll be expecting my Isuzu in the driveway when I get home, hopefully.
We'll definitely go for a test drive and see.
Thank you, I appreciate that.